Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us yet again. Welcome back to the latest episode of LePage Binder Live. I am your host, Arms Bumanlag. Each week we learn. I learn, you learn. Hopefully you get to learn a little bit more about real estate here in YQG. You get to learn about some of the advantages of working with our LePage Binder realtors, brokers, and sales representatives. And you get to learn more about how they are actively involved and supporting our community. I think that's so crucial. And we've talked about the benefits of relationships and what that means to people who are buying and selling in today's market. And over the last couple of shows, we've talked about those important relationships that we make not only with each other, but our clients and the people we serve in the communities that we are active in. And my guests today are a husband and wife team of Scott and Jaime Hodgins. They're licensed real estate representatives and realtors of Windsor, Essex County, part of the LePage Binder real estate family. They are local. They have professionalism and balance in both their business and personal life. And they are joining me live on the stream today. So thank you so much for joining me. Welcome to the show, Scott and Jaime.
Thanks for having us, Arms.
Thanks, Arms.
So we got to talk about this because, I was joking around with Jenna just a few moments ago, who helps us run these live chats on Facebook, that my wife and I, we work together in a social media company and we work very closely together. And you guys are husband and wife. Sometimes my wife wants to wring my neck, but that's another story for another day. But when you're working as a husband and wife team, especially in real estate, let's talk about that relationship that the two of you have and how that's been beneficial and some of the challenges that you've had. Because Scott, you were the first one in the real estate industry, correct?
That's right. Yeah, I started in around 2007, 2008, somewhere around there. And just gradually increased business over the years. I kind of came in at the worst time, right about the recession. So you learn to figure out how to make ends meet at that point. And Jaime's been in the medical field for years. I forget what year you started.
Yeah, I was there for 12 years. And then I met a lot of people in town from working there. I was assisting Scott when I was finishing up there for the last couple of years, and he said to me, why don't you just get licensed, because you have more flexibility, you wouldn't have to be stuck in an office all the time, and we can do more things as a family during the day and weekends. And
it's definitely a different field to be in, for people who don't understand it. And it's not the 9 to 5. You don't leave and go cook dinner and put your feet up. There's definitely that balance. Being in it for so many years, you learn to juggle it around. And with Jaime helping me, for a few years before she got into it, she came into the field, knowing real estate, knowing what to do. So it's a huge
so getting to know sort of the ins and outs, right? Because like you said, you got into the career. What I thought was interesting, 2008, that's when things weren't necessarily great in the economy, right? So, I know that doing some research on you guys and knowing that you're fellow Amherstburg folks like myself, that, you were, born and raised here in Amherstburg, Scott, General Amherst High School, worked in the tool and die industry, as well as Ford Motor Company, then making that segue in 2008. Jaime, you're working at the Amherstburg Family Health Team in that capacity too. So I guess having those connections to the community has really given you a pulse on what's happening, not only in the Amherstburg area, but Windsor, Essex, because you bring those different aspects of your industries previously into this role, and being lifelong residents, that has to be beneficial as well.
Well, it definitely is.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I started, like you said, General Amherst High School. At 15, I started tool and die. I had a family member that had a company. So right off the bat, I would leave high school. I had the work ethic. I wanted to make money. I wanted to have nice things. So I would leave high school at 2:30, start at 3 o'clock in Oldcastle, and work till midnight during the week, and then on the weekends. I had an opportunity when I was about 19 to go to Ford Motor Company, and I took that. It was good while I was there, but I came from a family. My father was a Chrysler worker. 40-year Chrysler worker, and it's a great career. Just wasn't for me anymore. The recession started to come, things were slowing down, and me and Jaime talked. He said, why not go into actually it started, why not go into home inspection?
Yeah, you
wow.
the home inspection.
So I I was interested in houses. I took the Carson Dunlop home inspection course, And that took me, I forget how long, it took me quite a while. And as I got to the end of it, I said, I don't really like heights. I don't want to be climbing on the roof, or crawl spaces and all that. It's not for me. I mean, it takes the right person to do that. You see guys like Matt, they run around on the roof like it's nothing, and I couldn't do that. So I was lacking some of the stuff that I would need to help my customers, clients. And then I said, well, I bought my first house at 19 years old. Had a few houses by that point. Why not just get licensed? See how to get in the field and go in that direction instead, and use the home inspection knowledge to the benefit of my clients, basically. And I'm not a home inspector. I don't market it, but when I'm looking at a house, I have a good understanding of what's going on. So when the home inspector comes in, a lot of times my people have already been briefed on some of the stuff, or I know how to talk to them after we find out the information.
And that's, I think that that offers you that unique perspective, right? To take a look at, when you're going into a home and you're kind of assessing for a buyer client, right? And you can say, well, wait a second, you can kind of give sort of that unique lens, right? To make sure that you're comfortable with it and your clients are comfortable with, things that you may notice as well.
Well, that's it. Because I mean, if there's the biggest thing, I mean, I like to say, if I wouldn't live there myself, I wouldn't sell to them. Everybody makes their own decisions. That's the biggest thing. They make their own decisions. I want it to be an educated decision. I want them to know what they're getting into. If they don't mind putting some work into it, making it their own, then great. But I don't want to sell someone a house and then 6 months later say, oh, I didn't know there was knob and tube, or I didn't know there was this, I didn't know there was that. So, my eyes help. I mean, obviously the best way is always a home inspector, but I mean, it helps even after the inspector speaks with them about it, that we have that conversation.
So one of the things I wanted to talk to you guys about both as well is not only just the work that you've done in the Amherstburg area, but really right across Essex County. We'll talk about the resounding topic that, all of our shows sort of hammer on, is the fact that the market here is hot. I think that's evident more now than ever. But I also wanted to get your unique perspective about, specifically Amherstburg as a town, the Windsor Essex area as a region, really on the cusp of some change, I think, in the next 5 to 10 years, right? In terms of who's coming into our area. And I know we wanted to talk about some of the recent monthly stats that have come out about the real estate market. And I know Frank Binder, our owner, is going to be doing a deep dive on those numbers on Tuesday. So I'm really excited to have him back on the show. But you take a look at that, and what an unprecedented time for real estate. I mean, you must be seeing that as well. It's really, you talked about that work-life balance, but I mean, being available for your clients in a market like this, like a seller's market, it's been incredible, has it not?
Oh, it's totally different than it was 10, 12 years ago. I mean, it's a different market. I mean, we're getting so much variety of people coming to the area. We're getting people
and then
from
it changes in the area, like people needing more space because of COVID, and it's everybody trying to figure out how to navigate during COVID, right? How to make the best of the situation. And either you have to get a bigger home because your kids are at home, or you're working from home now, or you have to downsize because of loss of job, different factors.
Well, we had one last week, specifically looking for a home. Like, she's from Toronto, and her and her son were looking for a place here because her job, she was in IT, lived right in Toronto, and she said, well, I'm never going back to the office.
Yeah,
they don't have to live in the office anymore, so why live in Toronto where it's going to cost a fortune to maintain? Here they can buy a place for, let's just say, the average price in the fives, put a lot of money in the bank, or even pay off their mortgage, have no mortgage, and make ends meet. It's a lot easier life.
It's interesting to see that too. Like, I'm an Amherstburg guy. I was saying to our marketing director, Michelle, who's also in Amherstburg, we moved out here in 2018, fall of 2018, from South Walkerville. And at the time, we just needed a bigger house, and we wanted to be closer to some of our family who's out here in sort of the bedroom communities as well. But on our street, because we're in a new subdivision, talking to some of my neighbors over the course of the last couple of years, it's like, just to hear their stories, like one of them is a retired firefighter from Toronto. who moved down here with his wife. The other group of people at that point were working in the telecom industry. The husband now is actually doing the whole work from home, but he's doing all online sales. And they're actually doing some renovations right now on their basement. So to me, it's really fascinating to see how COVID has really changed that dichotomy of people and what the work at home experience is in. And in your experience as realtors and sales representatives here, I know Jamie, you touched base on this. Are you seeing people realizing that, you know what, home is really, and I hate to use this term, but home is really where the heart is? Like people are staying home a lot more and they're trying to make their homes more functional, I would assume.
Yeah, like people are adding in pools. We've noticed like when people are moving to, they're looking for a pool because they're like, well, we're stuck at home, so we might as well have something fun to do, like, you know, to enjoy, to really make our place nice. And what was I gonna say? Sorry.
Well, I think pools are
Right.
huge too, right? Because I think for a lot of
Yeah,
folks, you know, you're not going to go on vacation anytime soon, or
right,
it's that risk
exactly.
assessment to say,
Yeah, or like what else I was gonna say, people are doing like renovations to their house to make it like bigger. They're like, well, I don't really feel like getting into the crazy market, or I'm gonna make my house bigger, so I'm gonna add a room or do major renovations at home because they know that they're gonna be there for a while and they want to make the best of their home while they're there. So
And if we look back though, I mean, going back a few years ago, pools weren't a huge thing. Jamie touched on the pool.
yeah,
The numbers
like
they've changed. We noticed ourselves that when there's a house with a pool, a nice in ground, it could be above ground, doesn't even matter.
don't want that.
People jump on it. The numbers are higher. Where going back 5 or 6 years ago,
It wasn't a big deal,
it
right?
wasn't a big deal. A lot of people didn't want a pool. Too much maintenance, too hard to take care of. Those times are gone, I think, right now.
Yeah, we're not saying like everybody wants it, but it is more desirable.
Yep.
For sure.
so if you're just joining the live stream or you're watching this in post live, my name is Arms Bumanlag. This is our Royal LePage Binder live chats with some of our team members and realtors and salespeople from across the brokerages right across Windsor and Essex County. I've got Scott and Jamie on with me today from the Hodgins Home Team. Very happy to have them on the program talking about their experiences buying and selling over the last little bit, getting to know a little bit about their background here in the Windsor Essex community and getting involved as well. One topic that has been in the news over the last couple of days has been those new mortgage rules. So is this I didn't want to say a red flag for a lot of folks? Do you think, how is this going to affect the market in sort of a wide overview, in your opinion, Scott?
Well, I mean, it's going to hurt a lot of people that are starting out. You know, the government, they aim to do this to cool down the market. I get it. I understand what they're trying to do. I don't think it's the right way of doing it. But, you know, based on a $500,000 house, a couple days ago, you know, for a couple that could afford a $500,000 house, now they're able to afford $479,000.
Yeah.
It's not a huge difference. It's there to protect the buyers, right? So instead of qualifying at 474, I believe it was, now it's 5.24, I believe. It's about 0.5% difference. So you can't have that same debt load that you used to be able to have. But I think that a lot of the investors out there, the people that are moving here from Toronto, from Vancouver, from these other areas, it's not affecting them. They have the money to do it. So, you know, the first time home buyers, the young families trying to start out, those are the ones that are really going to take a hit on this. You know, as the market softens a little bit, I think as we go, we're starting to see more of a balance already. You know, just over the last few weeks, you can just see we're not getting the 20, 25 offers on a house anymore. We're getting, you know, 4, 5, 6, 7 offers on a place. So you're seeing, I mean, the numbers are still there, a little bit less competition. That's going to help some of these people starting out.
Yeah, I think that's been pretty big too from a lot of the fellow realtors that I've spoke to on the show, and then even off air too. Just you know, working with Michelle and the team at Royal LePage, just knowing about the frustration that sometimes is there for a first-time home buyer, and wrapping their heads around the fact. And I think this has been so crucial. And I wanted to get your take on this too. Is having those expectations. I remember like when my wife and I were looking for our first home. And we were moving out of Victoria Park Place in downtown Windsor, right? Like that was my first place, right? You know, 1 bedroom overlooking Detroit River, sure. And then we were looking and things were like, we got this HGTV mentality in our heads. Like we're, you know what you're laughing because it's like, you know what I'm saying, right?
True.
Some people will
Yes.
go out to stuff and they'll be like, oh, this is my budget. And then when you actually show them
And they're like,
what they're
oh,
getting, not to say that it's bad, it's just, I guess it's tempered
yeah,
expectations.
it is. Yeah, it is. Like some people will say, well, my budget is 300,000, but I want a garage and I need 4 bedrooms, and that's just like it's really impossible right now. So like we'll say to them, maybe save up longer or lower your expectations just to get into the market, just to get something for now for your family, and then you can move up definitely in the next year or couple years or whatever. But yeah, or like a lot of people are having to get like their parents go on the mortgage if they're a single mom or first time home buyer. Or we're just saying like save up longer, you know, if this is what you really, really want to do.
But it's huge for people to just get in the market, like Jamie touched on. I mean, if you can get into the market, it's not going to be the perfect place. It may not be the
It's not
perfect
going to,
place,
yeah,
but I mean, if the market continues to climb, at least you're in the market.
yes,
In a year,
Sure, in there.
you may gain 100 grand of equity. It's a
right,
starting point. Now you can make that louder movement to something a little bit different, you know, something a little bigger, something a little nicer. But I mean, any house you can make a home. You go in there, you do some work to it, a little bit of elbow grease, and you don't have to have everyone else do it. You can do paints, you can do, you know, some flooring. There's a lot of to-do stuff. I mean, the best way of doing it is you know, trial and error. You know,
Just
you
to
do
get
some
in there.
laminate flooring in a room, get the old carpet out of there, make some changes.
Mhm.
You're gonna add value.
Yeah.
Do the both of you have some insight for our audience, people watching this maybe after the fact as well, about not only just the Amherstburg area, but Windsor Essex as a whole? We've heard about people coming in from Toronto and other areas, but are there areas that excite you as realtors and sales representatives to say, this is an area that's going to really start to take off over the next 10 years? Like I look at Amherstburg and I remember Fort Malden Mall. I remember, you know, and you're laughing, Scott. It's just like, you know, I drive by Movati now and it's like, oh, it used to be a part of, you know, I go to the gym there and I want them to open up. But I mean, it's just, you look at things and it's like, I think Amherstburg as a whole, as a town, has really made some steps forward over the next little bit. I mean, last week we talked to Tim, who's helping to finalize the greenhouse operation here in town as well. So I'd assume that there are some areas where we can really look forward to as Essex County residents.
Well, and who would have thought we were going to have greenhouses here? I mean, it's you know, we have so much land. It's shocking, and a lot of people don't like it. I mean, it's they see some of the other areas and the lights, and there's concerns.
Mhm.
There's a lot of jobs. You know, I think there's a couple hundred jobs after that. And I mean, I grew up, you know, Boblo Island. Boblo Island was the place to be, right? We all had we talked about the other day when my mom was over, we had season passes. My family, my brothers and sisters, they all worked there. You know, that was a treat for everyone. Now it's changed. You have mansions, you have other stuff, but I think you're going to see a lot of people coming to the island, coming to Amherstburg in general. You know,
It's growing. Yeah.
and it's supposed to be like 200 lots, give or take, that they're going to be adding to Boblo eventually. You're seeing a lot of construction nonstop in town. You know, there's the new high school that's coming, that's merging Amherst and Western. Who doesn't want their kids going to, you know, nice school? They want their kids at new schools, and a lot of people don't want to be, you know, in the city, say, but they want to be close. We're 20 to 30 minutes from the city. You know, it has a lot to offer. I mean, we have people laugh. It's we have a Walmart. You know, it's a big deal, but it does help. I mean, when you have the amenities, you have the stuff here. A lot of people, especially retirees, they don't have to go to the city for anything.
No.
They can live here and
Time to
better.
relax. Yeah. And it's a great area to raise your kids. Like my kids love it here. They love their school. They love their teachers, their friends.
One of the safest communities year over year.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, you have waterfront, you have great climate. You know, Jamie comes from Yellowknife, where it's a little different. It's and her family's still there. You know, it's kind of night and day. You know, they had snow, I think, what, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, just a couple of weeks ago, my
And-
kids had snow, and then now they're sweating, and it's plus 11 or plus 12, but they're sweating there, right? Because they're they're defrosting.
I think we were outside by the pool the day it was snowing. You know?
Yeah.
It's amazing
So
to see, and I think, you know, coming from that area of Canada, Jamie, to you know, what quite possibly we're almost the southernmost point of Canada, but certainly Essex County area, just the untapped potential that's here. I think that's, you know, they've talked about this back in 2008, 2009. Back in my radio days, we used to talk quite often about, you know, marketing the area as the 100-mile peninsula, and you know, having that I guess wall of water around us. And it really is a key point. I mean, you talked about Boblo too. And I remember, I mean, I've got some old footage kicking around on some of my social feeds of Boblo in its heyday, which is incredible to me to even watch to this day, because it's just to see that we had like an amusement park, at least in the 80s and 90s, right across from where Walmart now is incredible. But to see some of those homes on there for some of the retirees, I mean, it really is a wide variety of homes and options for people to choose. But if people are looking to secure a realtor or sales representative to find said home, whether it is some of the more luxurious homes on Boblo or maybe just a starter home in beautiful downtown Amherstburg, what should they look for in a realtor, for somebody that, you know, they don't have a connection to somebody, or they're looking for somebody who really knows the area?
yeah, yeah, you definitely want to find somebody that knows the area. Just because there's the pricing difference, I find, like from Amherstburg to Windsor to different areas can be different, right? So you want to have somebody that you can reach out to or talk to anytime, like that you can communicate with anytime.
I think a knowledge of a house too. I mean,
Yeah,
you know, you want someone that can kind of lead you and direct you, but yet take everything you say and run with it. You know, if you're asking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house, and there's certain musts, you need a garage. Well, you want someone that's going to take that and dig and work and find, you know, find the right house for you, lead you the right direction, and definitely 100% someone that has your best interest as
yeah,
number one. Because I mean, you know, you can sell a house, you can move on, but those people are living in that house forever.
yeah,
So you want to make sure you take the time to get them the house that they're going to love. And you know, for us, when we have a client, and it's cliche, everyone kind of uses that client for life. It's out there. A lot of people use it, but it's true. I mean, the people that use that, the people that follow the techniques of a client for life, they're constantly communicating with their clients, their
yeah,
past clients. They're touching base with them. They're doing Popeyes. They're stopping by the people's house. You know, maybe giving them a gift here and there. Just a simple phone call, seeing how they're doing in the house, how their kids are. You know, that's kind of what you want. You want someone that cares
yeah.
about you.
Oh, for sure. There's been times too, like we'll worry about our clients. We have like sleepless nights.
Yes.
We just want like the best, or we really, really want like it to go together for them. And yeah, so we're really into like you're a friend for life, basically. And
And
yeah,
I remember when we were selling our home too. It's just the because you're not in as like a buyer or seller. Even when we were selling our house in South Walkerville, it's like you're kind of on pins and needles, right? Like it's like, oh, we got an offer coming in, we don't know. And
yeah,
it's
it's
like you
like,
need to have that like open line of communication, which I think is so vitally crucial, because it's kind of you're walking them through the unknown, right? And the ups and downs
yeah,
that come with negotiations.
Well, and
sure.
do you know how often we hear it all the time? We don't want to bother you. We don't want to send you this text. We don't want to. No, send it to me. Send me the text, and we kind of make that clear right off the bat. If there's a question, if there's a thought, if there's anything, text us, call us, email us, whatever. You know, like we're thinking about it as much as you are. That's kind of how we are. When you're buying a house or selling a house with us, it's, you know, we're stressing as much as you are.
And
It's
we
not
know what it's like because we've moved.
yeah, it's
few
not about
times
getting
to
a sale or
ourselves.
doing any of that. It's about, you know, we're wanting everything to go smooth. We're wanting you to, you know, have the right
Have a
place.
good experience.
Good experience, number one. Yeah.
Mhm.
So we got a few minutes left to go. A pleasure to talk to you both. I learned so much today about not only your family and your team, but certainly the market as a whole as we take a look at it through a unique lens. But I got to ask you this, right? So I know you're huge sports fans, right? You're at your kids' hockey and baseball games, right? Did you get
Yeah.
Hodgins Home Team with that sports feel to it because of the sports? Is that where that comes from?
Actually, it was I'm looking at it, not on the camera, but the side over there, we have a bunch of our plaques. So we have, we always sponsor soccer teams, baseball teams. As our kids grew up, they always played the sports. So, you know, we would always get the call for the sponsorships. And it was kind of the cool thing for the kids, right? They wanted to be on Hodgins Home Team. So that's what we did. We had the jerseys all with the logo on it. And we try to, you know, that's a little bit of give back, right? I mean, we want to sponsor, we want to help these kids out there. I mean, our kids are always in the sport. I mean, we have 3 of them, 22, my daughter was 16, and my son just turned 11. And they all played soccer, some baseball, some hockey. You know, the youngest for sure is hockey around the clock. So it's sports all the time, and you know, give back and help out to the teams, to the kids.
Yeah, to the community. Yeah.
And we've coached several times too. I used to do the soccer coaching,
Soccer
the baseball.
culture, yeah.
I learned coaching is much harder than it looks.
I was just going to say, you're coaching the kids, and then you're coaching your clients, right? To get them to home base. So there you go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Done and done. Scott, Jamie, hey, thank you so much for joining us. You know, I always ask our members of the Royal LePage family before we end the show, what has been your experience at Royal LePage, working with Frank Binder and the team? What are your thoughts working with a brokerage like Royal LePage Binder?
I love it.
It's been really awesome. If you need to talk to anybody, you can call Frank anytime. He's there to help.
I call Frank quite a bit.
Yeah.
He's on my speed dial. Yeah. So I mean, you know, you learn. I've been in the business for years, but if there's something you're unsure of, make the call. And Frank is always there. I called him last night at 8:00 at night. It's a great company. The support staff is fantastic.
Everybody's great here. Yeah.
I had a couple other companies I was with when I started out, and you know, a couple years here, another year there. I've been with Royal LePage now, I think about 7 or 8 years, and I would never switch. There's no point in switching. I mean, how can you get what we have here? Frank is a great leader, and the staff is amazing.
Awesome stuff. I appreciate both your time. I'll hopefully see you around town, and certainly keep up the awesome work. And you know, folks want to contact Scott or Jamie, all the links are going to be in our feed as well, so you can contact them after the fact. So we appreciate their time. We're going to be doing this on a weekly basis. We're going to continue to talk to all of our team members right across brokerages across Windsor, Essex, Royal LePage Binder Real Estate live here on Facebook. And then don't forget tomorrow, if you're tuning in as well, we have our Ask the Expert segment. We're going to be talking about what's on top of your house, your roof. So looking forward to that as well. So from Scott, Jamie, myself, the entire team at the Royal LePage Binder Real Estate family, thanks for watching and take care. And we'll see you on the streets.
Thanks, Arms. Take care. Thanks a lot. Bye.